As we were just recently given authorization to release the pictures and the names of the victims. Our investigation has led us to a possible person of interest. However, we are not at the initial stage of we are at the initial stage of the investigation, and the investigation is still going. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Lieutenant Bigwood. He's going to go into a little bit detailed. He's going to provide the names of our two victims, as well as a person of interest, and he'll identify from the map where their bodies were located. So, Lieutenant Bigwood.
The pictures, are they going to send those to the various stations via email or what?
Yes, we'll be doing that at a later time. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Lieutenant Mike Bigwood, Lauderhill Police Department, Criminal Investigations Division. As Chief Stanley stated, yesterday at about 12:10 in the afternoon, we received a 911 call to 5926 Northwest 21 Street, where the first juvenile victim was located in the water. And then subsequently at 8:34 in the afternoon to 2201 Northwest 59 Way, where the second body was pulled from the water. At this time, we've determined that the two juvenile females are sisters. They are related. The first child's name is Destiny Hogan, D-E-S-T-I-N-Y, last name H-O-G-A-N. The second child is Deja Hogan, D-A-Y-S-H-A-H-O-G-A-N. The date of births for the children respectively, the ages for the children respectively are 9 and 7. At this time, we are exploring all possible leads. Detectives have been working nonstop since yesterday. We're, like any other case of this nature, we're exploring family and anything in the neighborhood that is coming up that is presenting leads. As the chief stated, we do have a person of interest at this time. However, we have not received an official ruling on cause and manner of death from the medical examiner's office.
Can you clarify on the ages? Destiny would be 9, Deja would be 7, is that correct?
Destiny is 9 and Deja is 7, correct.
Can you talk about the people in the neighborhood, a lot of people in the neighborhood, are telling us that there was a woman swimming in the canal where I believe it's Destiny's body was found the day before with a Bible saying, "Do you want to be baptized?" Is that someone who's being looked at?
We've also received that information. We are looking at that information very closely. We are familiar with that information. At this point in time, we're not ready to comment on how that relates to this case, but yes, that is an angle that is being looked at.
Also, I was told that with the flyers that you were showing to residents in the area, the adult woman in the flyer that was put out, I'm told that that is the lady who was in the canal with the Bible the day before. Is that correct?
I don't have the flyer that you're referring to, but yes, we were showing pictures of that woman this morning along with both children in the neighborhood.
Were either of them ever reported missing by a parent or guardian?
No.
Is the person of interest related to the deceased?
Yes.
Girls? Can you say if the person of interest was in the same neighborhood or in the general area?
They're related. They live together,
In that neighborhood?
all in the same home.
Is it the mother?
Yes.
So the mother is the woman who you believe was in the canal with the Bible,
That's correct.
asking if people want to be baptized.
That's correct.
So the mother is a person of interest?
Yes.
And who was found first? Was it Destiny or Deja?
The first body found was that of Destiny and then Deja.
And you said during your investigation yesterday, someone had spotted Destiny. They'd seen her with the other girl? Is that correct?
On the 21st.
The day before?
Correct,
Okay,
Monday.
So nobody had reported them missing, but somebody actually spotted them together?
Correct. Monday the 21st at about 5 in the afternoon is the last sighting of both children and the mother together.
Are there other children in the home?
No, not that we're aware of. And by all records, there are not.
Is that mother in custody right now?
No.
In the flyer, we saw her, it appeared that she had cuffs on. Was she questioned and then released, or?
She was contacted by police. She is not in the community right now, and we're not at liberty to say where she is.
Can you tell us again how deep this canal is?
I have no idea how deep the canal is, sir.
Do you know how long the bodies are there?
We know that from 5 p.m. is our starting point on the 21st. We do not know what time either child went into the water. And we have the recovery times, which I think I gave you guys, but 12:10 p.m. on the 22nd is the first one, and 8:34 at night is the second.
Is mom known to be any sort of pastor, minister, linked to a church, calls herself a pastor, anything like that?
We haven't gotten that far.
And to be clear, on the 21st, both girls were seen together at 5 p.m. with the mother or just the two girls?
With the mother.
The three together?
Yes, ma'am.
By the lake, by the canal, in that area, or?
I can't tell you how far from the water, but in the,
In the vicinity?
yeah, in the vicinity, yes.
Are you releasing mom's name?
Yes. It is Tinessa, Hogan, Hogan,
T-I-E?
Tinessa, Tinessa, Hogan, Hogan.
Have there not been calls or child protective issues at this home?
No, not in Broward County.
Is there information that you need from the public? I mean,
Absolutely.
What specifically are you looking for from the public?
So we're making a plea to the public and specifically the community of Central Lauderhill to please, if you know the family, if you know the children, if you're familiar with the relationship, if you're familiar with any churches, organizations that the family may be part of, please call us. We desperately need to know what these relationships are and put some context to how this may have happened.
Is there a belief that the mother, perhaps, Tanisha Hogan, tried to baptize them in the water, in the canal? Is that being looked at?
So with any death like this that involves family members, I think we're looking at all possible angles. We haven't substantiated that that's what happened, though.
When you questioned the mother, what did she convey?
The mother hasn't been questioned at this point.
Here's the question.
Are you guys looking for her?
No, we know where she is.
Do you know roughly how old mom is?
She was born in 1984. 36.
Can you say if she's been Baker acted?
I can't.
So you guys haven't spoken to her?
Not in the context that was previously asked.
And can you talk about just, I mean, this is obviously a very difficult case.
Yes, sir.
For the whole community, given the ages of these children. I mean, talk about that a bit and how it's affected and impacted the people who are working this case.
The detectives are good. They do this day in and day out, unfortunately. They're coping fine. They're all fully capable and they're doing their job. I don't think we've gotten to that point yet. The peripheral family that we've been in contact with is supportive and helpful. Again, we're hoping that the community reaches out and helps us put some context to how this may have happened.
One of the things we heard last night was that the two victims may not be from this area and maybe from out of county. Are they from the South Florida area?
They are. They are from that specific area where they were located.
Do you know who these men, their other relatives who are out of county that you all talked to yesterday?
We have spoken to relatives, yes, and they are outside of Broward County.
Is mom cooperative?
I don't think that I can make a fair assessment at this time. We haven't engaged her in a way that she could be cooperative or not cooperative.
Is there another parent, a father, who might be in the area or in the home or anywhere?
To our knowledge at this point, and from all the information that we received from the peripheral family, the father has been estranged from the children for at least a decade, or close to a decade. The children are young.
In one of the photos in the alert that was from yesterday, it looks like it was taken in like a hospital-like setting. Can you confirm if she was Baker acted or something else like that?
I can't.
Have you had any information if the mother is a very religious person?
I don't know what her personal beliefs are. We have similar information to what you brought out earlier, that she was in the canal, that she was offering to baptize people in the neighborhood. That is an angle that we're exploring, and again, we reach out to the community for information on that particular subject. That would be helpful.
Have you received any sort of information as to maybe why mom didn't call 911, or once the first girl was found, why she didn't come forward, anything like that?
Unfortunately, we do not right now.
In this investigation, can you put a percentage on, because I know that you guys got to do your due diligence, but if there's some sense of something that's nefarious that took place that you guys have just kind of connected up, so it's,
So at this point, I would classify it as two suspicious deaths. We are definitely treating it as if it was a criminal investigation, but we treat all suspicious deaths pretty much in the same manner. The detectives, like I said, have not left since yesterday at 12 o'clock. So in percentage form, if what your question is how much resource we're putting into it, it's full steam ahead.
Is there a reason why police said it was no foul play at the beginning?
I'm not sure that we ever released that information. I'm not privy to where that came from.
I'm pretty sure that police did say that they believed it wasn't foul play when the first girl was found.
This is the first time that we've released any information, so if that was released from somewhere, it did not come from this department.
The mother was located in that area when she was taken into custody?
Yes, sir.
So, just to make sure I understand the status of the mom, you've taken into custody and being questioned, or now she's back home and are you still talking to her? Is she?
I'd like to answer more on it. I think there are legal reasons that we cannot provide a lot of context on that. She is not under arrest at this point, and the community is not in any harm's way at this point.
But she's not out there. She's in some type of setting.
She is not home, correct? She is not out in the community right this second.
She's in the.
I'm not going to go any further with that. I understand the context of your question. I would like to be able to answer you. I just can't go any further with that.
I'm just trying to make sure that we use the word in custody or has been.
So I'd like to clarify that in custody is not under arrest.
So she's considered in custody but not under arrest.
She's not under arrest.
Okay.
Is there any sort of history at this house in terms of calls for child protective services or anything else involving police or any other agencies?
No, we thoroughly looked into that, and at this point, we have not found any of that.
So just to confirm, the woman who was taken away yesterday and the woman who was in the alert photo is the mother, Vanessa?
Yes.
So she's not home, she's not at the police station. Where do we say she is?
You're going to have to wait until we can release that information. I understand the quandary, but we just cannot,
She's just a person.
we can't speak to that at this point. That's correct. She's a person of interest.
Can you talk about or describe when you guys approached her about obviously her two deceased daughters? What was her demeanor? How did she react? Was she surprised?
I can't provide you a whole lot of context on that. I wasn't part of that portion of the investigation. We'll hopefully in the future here have a chance to sit down with her at some point, but it's not now.
Are there any other specific details you're needing help from the community?
So I'll recap the others that we gave before. I think any knowledge of the family dynamic, activities that the family engaged in together, just general information about who they were and what their day-to-day life was like would be extremely helpful.
Do you anticipate that the medical examiner's office will be able to give you something more definitive than what you have now in terms of a cause of death?
I do. The autopsies were started and conducted between roughly 9 and 12 this morning into 12 o'clock this afternoon. It's very, very early, and we did attend, but we weren't able to get manner and cause of death.
Just yet?
Correct, at this point.
Expect that information tomorrow or regular?
We haven't been given a timeline by the medical examiner's office.
Is there any appearance of trauma?
No outward trauma, no.
Do you have any?
I'll address the question of outward. We don't have any information about trauma beyond what may have occurred in the water.
All right. We're going to discontinue questions. Again, once we get additional information on the case, we'll be happy to update you on it. The takeaway here is that, we don't have someone out there creating issues in the community that may cause harm to others. So, again, we thank you all for coming out, and we'll provide that additional information once we get updates. Thank you.
Is it possible to have those pictures?
We have been listening to an update from Lauderhill Police on the case of the two girls that were recovered from the canal. We now know their names, 9-year-old Destiny Hogan and 7-year-old Daisha Hogan. We know that they are sisters. We also know Lauderhill Police said that their mother is a person of interest in this case.
Yeah, 36-year-old Tanessa Hogan last seen with her daughters Monday at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon in the canal. There are reports that the mother was asking one of the girls if she was ready to be baptized. Right now, police not releasing the cause of death. The autopsy is still being performed, but there was no signs, according to the lieutenant, of any outward trauma on those bodies. Again, we're going to follow this story. We're going to bring you those details as they come into our newsroom. Our Terrell Fournay is live on the scene. Stay with us. We're coming right back.